What's up, y'all? What's up, Michelle? So, I hope everybody's doing okay. As you can see, I got a little overlay happening, new overlay on the screen there. I'm trying to see what it's going to look like when it pops up on actual YouTube channel. Yeah, there we go. Looking like new money. Like I actually know what I'm doing. So I've been getting these classes, Illustrator classes, because I do not know Illustrator, and my mentor has been helping me out and teach me some Illustrator stuff. So I created these overlays for this this app that I'm using, and it looks alright. I may want to change a few things and add a few things because I had to turn the camera a certain way, and I don't know if I like the layout per se. So we'll make it work for tonight, but I'll probably change it later. Thank you. Like I said, I'm gonna change them. I think they're a little plain. This was just me learning Illustrator, so I'll need definitely to work more on it. So appreciate you. So I am going to draw this chick I found on Instagram, which is pretty cool. I like the pose and the sword. I'll show you kind of what it looks like. And so yeah, I'll attempt to do that and see what I get here. Let's see. So kind of like I was doing last week, I'll start with the spine, her head, and then just start hanging stuff off from there. I think I'm going to make her shirt like a negative space, and then really mess with the sword and her hips and ass. What up? So how's everyone doing? Can y'all hear me good? Let me know if you can. I had to move this camera up a little higher, and that's usually my microphone. So I want to make sure y'all can hear me clear and all that good stuff. But so as I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this picture, and I know most of the back of her head, her back, and her butt are closer to this side. So, I'll typically start the head like right here. It's kind of at a 3/4 angle. And I'll put, let me see if I can zoom in here, because I don't think y'all can see that. So I'll start with an oval. And then I'll put the center line down here. And maybe it can be over just a little more. But this is like her nose is the center, her mouth, and then her eyes. So it's kind of like just the basic of the head. And then if I zoom out some, move that up a little bit, I can kind of just go in with a nice S curve. And I know some of it's getting cut off, but I don't want to move the camera up too much higher. Loud and clear. Cool, cool. Doing good. Poking out a new game design. Oh, nice, nice. For those that's watching, Eddie is a fantastic writer and game designer and all that good stuff, man. Really good dude too. Doing good. Took the past 2 days off because last week was nuts. I feel you on that one. I got my shot last week, I think. My first dose. My arm was a little sore, but I guess I'm okay. And I really don't want to get into the theories of should we take it or shouldn't we take it or whatever. I took it, and I didn't feel too much of anything. Like I said, mainly my arm was sore. I thought I had got sick, but I guess I didn't. So right now, kind of what I'm doing is just looking at the reference and picking imaginary lines that need to hit in certain places. So like her cheekbone right here, if I draw a straight line or an imaginary line down, then I look on the reference and see where that same imaginary line, what hits that line. And kind of where her hip and shirt start curving up right here. Shoot. You can see right here. So I took this line down here, straight down. And so I know the top of, or the bottom of her shirt, the top of her hip kind of curves right here. So to come down here, and right now I got my pencil held way back here, and I'm kind of just really lightly sketching stuff in because I'm sure this will change. Go up here. And then I'll just kind of make a ball here for her hips and butt and all that stuff. I know the shirt kind of comes here. Once I actually darken these lines in, you'll be able to see kind of what's happening. Right now, I'm just kind of lightly etching this stuff in, sketching it in, whatever you want to call it. Getting my tattoo set up together. That's what's up. What all stuff you getting? What type of machine? Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Her hands are right here. Oops. And then the sword kind of comes up here. So I think for the most part, I got it down to kind of where I think it should be. So I'll kind of go in a little bit hard here, just so I can have, again, just a little better reference to go off of. And then we got our jawline coming up here. We got an earring in her ear. So I'm not too concerned with like putting the details and stuff with all of this just yet. And she's got some hair kind of coming back there. Then her neck, and then her shirt hangs out just a little bit. Bring that down some. And again, this is still kind of light, just so if I make any type of mistakes or I don't like where something is at, it's not really hard and permanent down there yet. And so from that first wrinkle here, her shirt is really black in that area. The shadow is really hard right there. So I'm not guessing, but I'm just assuming that the end of her shirt is here and it's coming over a little bit like that. Again, I'm not too concerned with the shirt itself. I think I'm gonna just have that negative space on there like that. And then, so if this is her shirt, her bikini kind of goes up here like that, and it gets hidden in that shadow. So we'll just kind of stop it there. And I know I'm going off the page here. I'll come back up here. So if that's like that, her arm comes down. And right now I'm kind of just scribbling stuff in here to make sure this is somewhat in perspective and stuff looks right. So I'm pretty cool with that. I'll come back out here. And she has wrist coming in like this. Boop. So have y'all watched the latest Falcon and Winter Soldier episode? battery pack for my pen, shelf space, and a few other things. Okay, cool. Where you gonna be working at? What up, Dark Lord? What it do? Just sitting here chilling, man, doing some artwork, you know. I'll come back up here. So, let's see if I can turn it sideways. So I'm messing around with this area here and coming down. Her hip is out here. Like I said, I was doing very light stuff in here so I can make sure, like, okay, her arm is actually under there and it fits the way it's supposed to. Because again, I'm not too concerned with that. This will just be all blank, like a negative space. I'm more concerned with the sword and her hips and booty. I'll be working from home. Okay, cool. I have, yeah, it's really good, well done. Me and Eddie were talking about it when I was tattooing him the other day, and yeah, I mean they're hitting on all cylinders. Old Marvel at Disney. All right, and her hands. I'm gonna zoom in on her hands a little bit. They're in this weird position, so I'll look at it for a minute and then just block them in. No real, what word am I looking? No real detail at the moment. Just kind of blocking stuff in and sketching really light, because the sword is in perspective, if you will. There's some foreshortening going on here, and I am going to have to pull that off and make it look like it's supposed to in the reference. And that's what it is being an artist, right? Trying to make something look like it's supposed to look like. That's the trick. That's the hook. And man, the way she got her hands and fingers, this one here is woof. But you can kind of just block some stuff out for right now and then let it marinate for a minute. Once all that stuff is blocked off, and then come back and then just rework it. And when I say blocked off, I mean just shapes, right? I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see what I'm talking about. So I literally just have blocks of finger shapes, hand shapes, sword shapes. There's nothing right now that says, oh, this is how it's going to be. This is very loose, very sketchy. When I'm drawing this, I'm really still holding my pencil way back here, so I am not making a commitment to any of these lines, because all this can change. Like, I think her wrists maybe just need to be a little bigger. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is just figuring this stuff out. Actually, we can probably put a little more head back here. Yeah, that'll work better. What are you drawing? Drawing somebody from Instagram that I seen holding a sword. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check your stuff out, man. I have to admit, I squealed at the. Oh yeah, that Loki trailer. Oof, good stuff right there. And yeah, he should be a ton of fun, right? In the movies, he was fun. They should definitely keep that same energy. All right, so we got this happening. This kind of comes right here. And so what I'm doing is that I'm looking to get the reference and where the tip of that sword is hitting her head is where I need to make mine's hit. And then it comes out like that. All right, so I think I'm cool with the way things are looking. I could probably start messing around with her face just a little bit. And I think if I come down, maybe her face is a little long. I can probably bring her chin up here just a hair. Uh-oh. I need some more lead. Y'all bear with me here. Get some lead up out of here. There we go. All right, I'm gonna probably just erase this line because I don't like it being there. And then I can move this up just a bit. And again, I probably won't go into too much detail on her face and everywhere else. I really, again, wanted to focus on this part and her hips. But just enough detail to where you can see what's happening. I'll try and zoom in some here. So I'm kind of just sculpting out some eyes. Again, nothing serious. Kind of just leave that at that. Just make sure her ear is kind of in the right position. So even with the ear, like I'm looking at the reference and the top of the ear is higher than her eye. So I just want to make sure that's in the right spot. Make sure I got all my I's dotted and my T's crossed. She got some hair back here happening. Her neck kind of comes back here. After Endgame, oh man, you should, bro. You got to catch up on them Johns, man. It really ties stuff in. With, you know, the Avengers movies and all that stuff. A lot of questions answered that you may have not known of. It's just good stuff, man. And so I think I'm gonna put in like a fake faux type of shadow here. And I'm just doing that to help sell the 3D-ness of her face. I probably won't mess around with that too much, but it will help show that her face has some roundness to it, if you will. So I got something happening with her face. Maybe her nose can be pulled back some more or whatever. So I'm gonna pull out here a little bit and then come down the back here and make sure I'm okay with what I got going on here. So coming out a little bit, down some, and then in. Yeah, I'm okay with this. This kind of is her underwear, bikini, or whatever it is happening here. And so again, I'm kind of just lightly sketching in some stuff to make sure before I put that hard line down, that it's where it needs to be. So I think I'm okay with where it is now. And I think I like the bottom because I think she has, I'm going to shoot for fishnet pantyhose on. And just the way the lines are contoured on her hips and on her butt is really cool because now you can see how things are shaped. They got different patterns in there and all kind of stuff to really show the shape of what's happening here. And even here, like where, if I move that up, like right here, there's a dent in hips. So you have like your top of the hip, the side here, but right in here, there's a slight dip. And the way the lines are, it shows that dip in there too, which is pretty cool. So y'all been watching anything new or nah? Appreciate you, Mr. V. My man, Big Vic in the building. That poster in the back. Oh, that's Huey from one of my homies. Marcus the Visual, that's him on Instagram. That dude is the truth. Good dude, good brother. If you're not following him, that's somebody you should be following. So I'm kind of just darkening in, seeing if I can get, because I think I'm happy with what's going on right now. So this is all black here. Let's kind of phase in a little bit. And so now you can kind of see, as I blocked all this stuff out, now I'm happy with where lines are hitting, and I'll start going in darker on some areas that I'm pretty comfortable with. Oh, this is black though. And so even here, like I got all the little contour lines. Let me zoom in again. All the contour lines happening. And so now I'm looking at the shadow. And so I'll just sketch a shadow line in really light. There's shadow under here. And I'll just do it real light, just so I know where it's at. And this whole part under her glute is shadowed. This whole part is shadowed, so the light source is coming from this side. So all this has shadow. And then it just fades off up here. So it's kind of like round and up, kind of like that. And so what I'm going to do is move that up like that. So now y'all got a big ass in your face. And this song has been playing forever, yo. Give me the next one, man. You watched a few episodes of The Irregulars. I think someone told me. Was that you that told me about that? Or it might have been Erica from the shop. I'm not sure. Nothing really new. Found a few home shows that helped me pass the time on a treadmill, but that's about it. What's up, Francisco? Yeah, it's been a while, man. Glad you came through, man. Alonzo, my man, I don't know Spanish, bruh, but appreciate you coming through. Yeah, I think I've been watching, as far as home shows, I've been watching Flea Market Flip or something like that. I think that's the name of it. But for here, I'm gonna kind of just do really light circles until I get what I really want. And so like the trick for this is, one, not to make it look like a shit stain, honestly. And it has to be very blended well. So here, like, I'll probably go over this quite a few times just with light circles. And once I get out to this area, I let go of the pressure a little bit on my pencil. Because I obviously want it darker next to this line. Because shadows make lines. That's the whole theory behind that. I think I was talking about that a few weeks back. So there's really not a line here. It's the color or whatever behind here is what's making a line, which is pretty trippy to think about, but it's true. And if I go too dark in some areas, like here I went just a little dark, but then I can kind of just blend it back out if I, my bad. If I call it dance around. If I dance around in this area, I can pull that out and have a smooth blend where it won't look like it was too dark on accident. And then there's actually some shadow casting over this way on this cheek. So I'll do just a little bit, but it's a little more down here. I'm gonna zoom out some. But so I started like really light, and then I'll just keep building up layer after layer after layer. Again, so I can get that good blend and fade out from here. And also I do a lot of layers like that so I can get rid of some of the circles, right? Like if I leave it, if I do these circles like that, like little circles, really hard, and then keep trying to go back over them, you'll start seeing some of the circles. I mean, you may see them a little bit here, but I do it really light so I can hide some of them, and then I'll come back in with straight pencil movements, if you will. And just because it's my style, I'll probably put like a really thick outline around everything, because that's what I do. But and then she has a lot of shadow happening under here. And so I can kind of go in kind of dark right now, because I know this is like really dark where that crease is. And I know it comes out to about here and fades out. So I can now start building off of that dark spot that I did to where it's not so, where there's not a fade. I need a fade there. Let's see what we look like. I pull out some. But yeah, now, you know, you can see what's happening here, right? I got light source coming from, where's my pen? Been working on my webtoon. That's what's up, bro. All right, Dark Knight, my bad. I ain't see you leave, but appreciate you for coming, man. So I got my light source, if I can spell. And so this is like really dark here, but all this is in the shadow, if you will. It's kind of dark here. And now I'm kind of just cross-hatching with a mixture of steel circles and all that stuff. But the key is to push this leg back and this leg stays up. So that's kind of what I'm attempting here. And looking at the reference, it's kind of dark, like right here. And this is another crease right here, but it doesn't go all the way out. So I'm gonna dance around here for a little bit. and just pull that shadow out some. Because if you remember, I said the shadow kind of goes like this, but it's really dark here. So I'm gonna kind of just hang out here for a minute. All the time looking at the reference, making sure it looks somewhat like it's supposed to. Because, you know, art is interpretation, and I think the only thing with that is if you're trying to do realism, then it needs to look like what you're trying to do. Like if I was trying to do her like a caricature or anime figure or something like that, then all the proportions will be messed up or whatever. But if you're trying to do realism or make it look like the reference, I'm always looking at reference. And so I'm gonna take my pencil very light at the back end and just go up this side again. Now you probably didn't even see anything change really, because I'm doing it so light. See if I can zoom in, see if you can see something. Yeah, so you can see a little shadow happening like right around here. And so I went like this just a minute ago. Now I'm gonna go in a different direction. Kind of back up, and I'm gonna go in another direction until I build up something. So here you can kind of see something, some shade starting to happen here, like a shadow starting to curve around. And then I can go in with some circles, big circles, small circles, and just build up layers. That's all it's about. Just building up layers, taking your time, not being in a rush. Because with this, I can kind of stop here, mess around with something else, and then come back and let my eyes take a rest from this section, and then come back and pick it back up. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So now I could do like I'm gonna mess with these confines really quick. I'm gonna zoom in some here. And put this over here so y'all can see a little better. So here is like it's a 2-line thing happening here. And when I do these lines, I typically don't draw them too dark. I really just want to show that there's something here besides just skin. I want to show like the actual netting of it maybe. or again, just the lines. And then you kind of just start again, throwing your own flavor into it, right? Like I said, I do a lot of thick lines, so I'll do the thick line on that side. You know, if you want, you can make these thicker. It's just, the more you draw, the more your style is going to come out, and you'll figure something out. And with all, because after I zoomed in here, there's a bunch of cross, I guess, netting, if you will. And I'm not trying to show all that. Like, I may show like a few things coming down here, and then maybe crisscross a few things, but that's too much work. My goal is not to do all that stuff, so I'm not going to do it. Why I'm stopping right in here, I have no idea. I'm kind of just freestyling with these contour lines right now, so there's no rhyme or reason why I'm not doing them all the way through like that. I think with contour lines like this, though, is that it helps sell the shape. I think I was saying that before, but like, so even without this shadow, like here, we can see that with these shapes, these lines that are happening, the way her hips and butt are shaped, because these lines follow it, I mean, like skin almost like a second layer of skin she has on. And I'm doing these really quick. I'm not going to take too much time on this here. I want to try and get up there to the hands. Just kind of sketch these in. And that could come out a little bit.
The Rays at the Red Sox, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, live on youtube.com/MLB.
Another one. So yeah, I'll leave that like that for now. You kind of get the hint of what's happening with the contour, the shadowing, and all that stuff. I will throw a thick line over here. And I should so be starting over here. Like if I was doing a real piece for like a commission or something, I would have another piece of paper here so my hand wouldn't smudge all the work I just did there. So I think I'm happy with the way that sword is and her hand and everything. Just looking at her face and her upper body and stuff, I think her wrist and everything is okay. So I'm gonna zoom in here and try to really work these shapes that I got going on here for the hands. And you just throw your flair in, right? So like even with this little, where her cuffs, it's not, it doesn't have that little, see if I can, on the reference, it doesn't have that little bump out, but because I've been drawing forever, I always put that in. Again, I think the reason I do it is because it sells that there's a cuff there. And I'm gonna just mess around with this here real quick. And just put some wrinkles and again, stuff here to sell that there's a shirt happening and it's wrinkled and all that stuff. So now we get her clothes are bunched up right there. If you stay in one place too long, do you risk of overworking it? Yeah, I would say yes. You know, I think that's just kind of where, as artists, especially young artists, you have to just learn what that means. And maybe at some point take a break, you know. But I definitely think if you stay in one place too long, you can overwork something. So here, I'm looking at her wrist, and I know it's meeting here, and then her, I guess this is her thumb. Yeah, it's kind of wrapping up around here, right? And if I'm looking at my reference, the hilt, I think that's what this part is in here a little more. And then it comes down, there's some funkiness happening. So hands are tricky, right? To make it not look messy, less, especially for this type of grip and this type of pose, less is more. So I'm not concerned at all about wrinkles, any of that stuff. Like, I just want the shape of this hand to look right. Again, it's in such a weird, you know, her gripping it, and you can lose sight really quick and trying to make it look like it's supposed to. by adding a whole bunch of line work and trying to make sure, you know, you can see every tendon and all that stuff. That is not what we're trying to focus on right now. Again, we just want this to look like a hand holding a sword. That's it. That's all I'm focused on. And by lightly blocking this stuff in, I can, I lost my train of thought. I can lightly make stuff look like it's supposed to look. And I'm still light, right? I think maybe this hand can be a little bigger, so I'll pull out a little bit. We'll take a look at the whole thing. And so what I'm looking at when I stop for a while is, okay, this is her face and this is her hand. If she is to open her hand wide, like, where am I at? Okay. You know, your hand should cover your face, like from the tip of your hairline to the bottom of your chin. That's a typical measurement, so you can get hands proportionate to your head, because you know you'll see some heads bigger than hands and hands small and all that stuff. So what I'm looking at as far as this picture is trying to imagine if her hand was open, extended all the way, one, would it fit on her face here, like right here? And then two, since it's leaning towards us, like her hand, when I say leaning towards us, it's leaned a little bit. So now I don't have a good measurement, if you will, to say, okay, this is where her hands kind of start, and this is the palm of her hand. Let me zoom in some. So we seen her face over there. This is if we flipped her hand over, this will be the bottom palm right here. And this is the top where the knuckles meet. So this is the palm right here. And then we got fingers, and then more fingers that are curving and wrapping around this handle. So I'm thinking, if she was to straighten her hand up, how much taller would it be? And if she extended her fingers, how much, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, she's like this. If she tilted her hand like that and extended her hand, her fingers, what that looks like balled up, to try and measure it up to her face to look right. And so as I'm looking at everything, her face is cool in proportion with her torso and her hips. I feel like her hands can be just a little bit bigger. And what that means is, I don't know yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, does her hand need to be wider, longer this way, even though her hand is cocked back like that? Like, does it still need to come up some more? So again, as an artist, that's kind of what I'm thinking about, and what goes through a lot of other artists as they're doing stuff. You know, even looking at the head, her head might be a little too big, right? So I can bring her head down some. To compensate for the hand being a little small. Because I like the way the hand looks. I don't want to keep messing with that. So I can make her head a little smaller. and it still won't make her look out of proportion. And I really would just need to work more on this stuff too. Like her eyes may be too big. I think I already said her nose is kind of large, so this would need to come down some too. So if we made them smaller, you know, there's little tweaks that you can do to make this work with the hand, and then all this work with the bigger sections of the body. Ah, yes, proportion problems. It's such a pain. So I think all this is cool. So what I will do is leave that alone. Again, you know, don't be in a rush. Don't, you know, think you got to finish stuff up in one day. And the reason I started doing a Patreon is so I could teach people, right? Or at least so they could see the mistakes I make and see how my thought process is when I'm doing this stuff. You know, you see the cool Instagram pictures and all that stuff, but that's after, you know, most of those are sketches. But like when I post, you know, I think I posted a Wonder Woman a while back, and you know, those things took me at least a week or two to do them. I think I did something for actually Michelle, who's on here now. She's still here. I done the dude from Lord of the Rings. Man, that took a minute to do that. So when y'all see like those finished pieces on Instagram and stuff, man, believe me, it took me a minute to do those. And just doing this stuff in an hour or an hour and a half or however long I'm on here, I'm really just, one, I enjoy doing this, but I enjoy it more when I could show people the process, and you know, they can understand like, oh, he makes mistakes too, and you just learn. You know, you keep going and you keep figuring it out. I think the thought process is probably, dang, I can't talk now. Probably the more valuable aspect of anything, right? Because now you get to ask questions and you get to see kind of what that person was thinking about when they were doing it. Like, I'm in the process of learning color tattoo, and yeah, I mean, you know, you can look up YouTube videos and all that stuff, but to actually, you know, be live with someone or actually physically with someone and you hear their thought process of it is just, you know, if someone is doing that on YouTube and they're really giving you information, that's cool too. But, you know, you might only get one time, but if you get to sit with someone over and over weekly, I think you learn a lot. My bad for the rant. So we got this coming up here. Can probably be straight. And then come out like that. And I've said it before too, like if you can find a mentor or something like that, in your neighborhood or area or something, you know, by all means, if and a mentor, for me, a mentor is, someone that doesn't mind, quote unquote, like hurting your feelings, right? And not like they're just cutting you down and, talking trash to you, but, cut you down nicely, but then at the same time build you up and show you what you were doing wrong and what you can do better, and the good pep talk type thing. And then showing you what they do, and two, for that mentor to be better at what you want to do. So like all my mentors, I got 2 right here in Atlanta, and then some in other states, but man, them dudes is dope. Like, I see them and I want to do, or even if it's not like art in per se as far as being dope, but just, and their art is dope, but business, talking to clients and finding business and running business, and their marriages and all that stuff. You need well-rounded mentors, and then one mentor may give you a little piece here, a little piece there, but I would definitely find a mentor. They're invaluable people, man. I always learn cool things here. Yay! Oh yeah, Sauron, that's him. Man, that took me a minute to do that thing. Oof. And then the detail within there. Well, that's a smooth beat right there. But yeah, y'all, I think that's it, man. I'm gonna let this marinate for a minute. And probably mess with her face. Like I said, I'm gonna probably bring it down some, like shrink her head, like the back of her head here, redo the eyes and stuff. Something about the eyes, I don't like the way they look, so. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for hanging out. I'm super hungry. And I'm just no good when I'm hungry. Head start hurting, I start shaking. But y'all know I appreciate y'all for hanging out. I always had a good time with y'all. I appreciate y'all letting me ramble. And I will see y'all next week. I should probably finish this maybe tonight or early, first thing in the morning or something. And then, actually I got a big tattoo tomorrow, so. And again, I'm rambling. So with that said, y'all take care, wash your hands, wear your mask, all that good safety stuff. Stay 6 feet away from people, man. Like, I hate giving the people the eye and looking back like, bruh, stand back. So keep that distance. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week.
Peace.